You're listening to Stories on Her Season channel. Wishing you enjoyable moments with our stories. If you like the story, please help our channel with a like, comment, and subscribe. After my family went bankrupt, I boldly spiked the drink of my sworn enemy, but suddenly I heard his inner thoughts saying, "My darling is so adorable. Her hands were still trembling when she drugged me just now. Tesk, my darling is so thin, I wonder if she can handle the next few hours. Even if my darling cries and begs me later, I won't stop." My footsteps froze at the door. On the bed, Adrian Chin's face was flushed red as he uncomfortably tugged at his collar, his cold eyes staring straight at me. "What did you give me to drink, Emma Shun?" At the same time I heard his turbulent inner thoughts. "My darling likes forced scenarios. I must show some restraint. Ah, my darling is so tiny. I want to pin her wrists down. My darling is so small, want to kiss. Ah, my darling's legs are so white, if placed on my shoulders they'd be adorable. Why wait? Beauty, come serve me now." I panicked. "You pervert, don't come near me." Ah. Adrian and I had been sworn enemies since childhood. When I skipped school he reported me. When I dated early, he took photos. And vice versa, when he got into fights I reported him. My name is Emma Shen, Kitty, so I called him Dog Kin. But today I suddenly discovered that my sworn enemy seems to like me. I backed toward the door, gripping the handle tightly, planning to run out when I got the chance. Adrian grabbed my wrist, spun me around and pressed me against the door. Usually lazy, when he pressed close, even his breathing became dangerous. I heard him click his tongue. Kitty, what are you running for? That glass of water at the party earlier. Wasn't it you who gave it to me?" It was indeed me who gave it to him. If my family hadn't suddenly gone bankrupt, I wouldn't have boldly drugged my sworn enemy's drink. Actually, when I handed him the glass, I already regretted it, but he drank it and drank immediately, as if he couldn't wait. With no choice, I dragged him to the hotel, planning to take some intimate photos for blackmail. But I didn't expect he actually liked me, and even less that he'd be such a pervert. My eyes darted around nervously, but I tried to stay calm. "How can you wrongly accuse me like this? I was just worried you'd been drugged, so I kindly poured water for you. Yet you're not only ungrateful but fierce with me. I'm really scared, you know." Even I almost got nauseous from my own coquettish tone. Let's see if this makes him disgusted enough to give up. Sure enough, Adrian frowned tightly. I secretly rejoiced. I knew it. How could sworn enemies possibly like each other? I must have misheard earlier. But the next second, I heard his inner thoughts again. "My darling is adorable even when acting coquettish like this. Wanna kiss my darling to death, wanna lock my darling up just for me to see." I saw what you guys call this acting coquettish. I was a bit confused. He raised an eyebrow, lips curving almost seductively. "So uncomfortable. Emma Kitty, help me out a bit, won't you?" As he spoke, he pulled my hand downward. His voice was hoarse. My hand was grabbed and pulled up, lifting his shirt to reveal defined abs. I quickly turned my face away, continuously chanting in my mind, "Form is emptiness. Form is emptiness." But my hand wouldn't listen, gently stroking up. Actually, his figure isn't bad at all. Sleeping with him for one night, I wouldn't really lose out. Just when I was about to succumb to temptation, footsteps suddenly sounded outside the door. The footsteps came from far to near, seemingly more than one person. Adrian froze slightly. Good opportunity. I immediately came to my senses and quickly pushed him away. "Mr. Kin, are you in the room? Are you all right?" Vague inquiries and knocking came from outside. I recognized this voice. It was Sophie, Lucas's new fiancée at Adrian's junior in the same department. I remembered that just a month ago, when my family went bankrupt, Lucas immediately broke off our engagement and publicly announced his relationship with Sophie. He had forgotten that without the Shen family's help, how could an illegitimate child like him have gradually gained foothold in the fierce competition among elites and expanded his influence? I didn't force him to keep the engagement, just hoped he would help the Shen family a little out of past gratitude. But he held Sophie tightly, not hiding his mockery toward me. "Who wants the Shen family's help?" Back then it was clearly the Shen family eagerly clinging to me. "Sophie is kind and gentle. She's the one I truly love." Then he publicly displayed his affection for Sophie in front of everyone, leaving me standing there enduring mocking gazes. When the tree falls, the monkeys scatter. When the wall collapses, everyone pushes. Now I've seen through everything. If not for this, I wouldn't need to risk seducing my sworn enemy. I just don't understand why Sophie is here today. To catch us. After all, I heard that back in college. Adrian once confessed to her but was rejected. There were rumors afterward that he couldn't get over the unrequited love. No wonder he and Lucas had been enemies for years. Even though he likes me now, who can guarantee he won't still have lingering feelings when seeing his first love again? Moreover, looking at Adrian's current state, I doubt I could handle it. Better to run. Escape is the best strategy. I quietly reached for the door handle, just opening a small gap when the person beside me slammed it shut with a bang. Adrian immediately lifted me up, pressing me against the door, breathing rapidly. Is it working? Is the drug starting to take effect? No, that's not right. I should say the drug had already taken effect long ago. Adrian was just enduring it too well, holding on until now. But like this, can I really handle it? I couldn't help swallowing hard. Better run. I struggled and kicked wildly, but unexpectedly he lifted my chin and leaned down to kiss me. The kiss was both fierce and urgent, as if he wanted to swallow me whole into his body. Outside, knocking suddenly sounded. Mr. Chin, are you in there? It was Sophie. She must have been attracted by the sound of Adrian slamming the door. Adrian, you bastard. I cursed him to his face, but the next second he blocked my mouth again. My darling is so sweet, kiss kiss kiss. What's this? It's wife kissing once. What's this? It's wife kissing again. What's this? It's wife kissing one more time. The knocking outside grew louder, sounding somewhat anxious. Are you in the room? What have you done to my senior? Senior, are you alright? Open the door quickly. Just separated by a wall, Adrian and I were entangled intensely inside while Sophie and others frantically pounded on the door outside. The banging grew more violent. I suspected they were about to break the door down. I heard Adrian's inner thoughts. So annoying, these people have no eyes. Insisting on interrupting me and my darling. Irritated by Sophie again, every time I look for my darling she follows. Always provoking and plotting to harm my darling. Looks like I need to put some pressure on the Liu family, stop Lucas from managing his little lover, letting her idle around causing trouble every day. So he doesn't like Sophie. I felt someone outside was already kicking the door. The next second, Adrian suddenly pulled the door open. I took a deep breath, considering opening my mouth. Cough cough, Adrian, taking you to the hotel without permission was wrong of me, but you also forcefully kissed me, defiling my purity. You must compensate for emotional damage. Not much, just 1 million. I looked at him expectantly, but Adrian deliberately drawled lazily. But my money is only for my girlfriend to spend. Do you want the money? Or this jade-like body of mine? But before he could finish I quickly cut him off. Deal, I agree. How funny, I've always seen you as a boy, but who would refuse money? When I become his girlfriend, I'll use this love-struck brain to squeeze money from him. Adrian shook his head with a light laugh. Wait, I don't think I've agreed yet. They say things easily obtained aren't cherished. If I agree too easily, she might think I'm worthless and quickly get tired of me. What should I do? So what do you want? Adrian sat on the sofa, slowly unbuttoning his shirt to reveal exquisite, fair collarbones. How about you try seducing me first? But why do I feel like you're the one seducing me instead? I took a deep breath, turned to leave. Adrian held me back tightly. How about this, a hug for 100,000, a kiss for 500,000? I raised an eyebrow. Are you trying to keep me? Adrian quickly turned his face away, his ears slightly flushed. Just a tactic to humiliate you. After all, you hate me so much. The more uncomfortable you are, the happier I am. Really? But I heard his inner thoughts loud and clear. Damn mouth, I command you to shut up if you can't speak properly. Sob, giving money is just to keep my darling by my side. I leaned close, using my finger to poke his collarbone. Adrian's throat rolled slightly, his eyes rarely showing confusion, looking bewitching. His chest also heaved slightly. I tilted my head, smiling innocently. Adrian, I want to know if only your mouth is the hardest part of your body. Patience is liking me really that hard. But Adrian grabbed my hand, turning from guest to host, pressing me down. His voice was low and hoarse. There's another place that's very hard too. Want to try? No, I coldly kicked and he painfully let me go. Emma Kitty, why do you kick so hard? I rotated my wrist, expressionlessly bent down to hug him. Fine, I agree. But the price increases 200,000 for a hug. But no kissing. Transfer the money quickly. I urged him. The phone rang, reminding me it was almost time for my interview. I messaged HR saying I wasn't coming anymore, but still pretended to grab my bag to leave. Adrian called me back. Where are you going? Interview. I showed him my phone. If you keep me, my family's debts can't be paid off in a day or two. So before drugging you, I had already prepared a plan and contacted several companies for interviews. Come to my company. I'm lacking a secretary. Food and accommodation included. Full insurance, annual salary 1 million, 5 days work, 2 days off. My eyes lit up, but I still pretended to cough. Since you're so sincerely inviting, I'll reluctantly agree. I heard his dejected inner thoughts. She really only likes my money. But at least I can still use money to keep her. Adrian took me to his villa, arranging a room right next to his bedroom. Every morning when I open the door, I can see my darling. I widened my eyes. What an evil, scheming dog. After working for about a month, I gradually got used to the work routine. Every morning, reluctantly hug Adrian once, go to the company with him, help him organize documents, schedule meetings, receive clients, then leave work together and reluctantly hug once more, then close the door to sleep. When encountering difficult problems, Adrian would also teach me patiently. Even when negotiating with clients, he made me sit beside him to observe. Previously, I lived the pampered life of a young lady spending money like water, with no work experience. This time beside Adrian, I really learned a lot. Occasionally I could hear his satisfied inner thoughts. Not bad. Emma Kitty is indeed smart, learns very quickly. Like me, we really have husband and wife compatibility. This way, even without me in the future, she can live the life she wants. But unless she extremely hates me, otherwise I absolutely won't leave Emma Kitty. So that's how it is. His pure gaze looking at me suddenly made my heart tighten. Task. My head is so itchy. Seems like a love brain is about to grow. Adrian was extremely devoted to work, seemingly having no weekends off, working overtime even then, sometimes even staying overnight at the company. But he wouldn't let me stay, insisting on arranging a driver to take me back to the villa and making me text when I arrived home. Otherwise I'd be bombarded with messages. During the day, I stood beside him drowsily nodding off, watching him seriously listen to subordinates' reports while inwardly cursing. So annoying, work is troublesome enough. Looking at this crappy proposal is even more troublesome. Sob sob, my darling is so cute, head bobbing like a little chick pecking grain. Stay calm, can't get angry. My darling is still here, can't scare her. Good thing my darling is beside me, otherwise I really couldn't swallow this work. I jolted awake immediately. Adrian's stormy face instantly softened. All right, well done. Keep working hard. That colleague left the office trembling. By the weekend, after a week of hard work, I lay sprawled on the bed shopping crazily online. Then sent photos to Adrian, continuously messaging on WeChat, determined to spend all his money. Honey, I want this one. Blowing kisses. This bag is gorgeous too. Want it so bad. As soon as I sent the message, my account received 2 million yuan. Thank you, honey. Love you so much. Hearts. The other party sent back a series of dots. Emma, stop acting coquettish. Liar, you clearly love it. I angrily put down the phone, quickly rummaged through the closet for a dress, the latest summer style. A thin, light black slip dress, also the one I had Bedrian to buy for me. I put it on, revealing my fair neck, chose a seductive angle, took a photo and sent it. But he didn't reply. Too busy. I didn't care anymore, was just planning to tease him anyway. Continued shopping. Spending money feels great, spending other people's money feels even better. The next day, when I arrived at the company, I found colleagues whispering and gossiping, covering their mouths while sneaking glances at me. Really? They went that far? Oh my god, so adorable. Tell more details. Don't push, let me hear. When I approached, they immediately scattered, waving me away. Nothing at all. Secretary Shen, go to work quickly. Director Chun was just looking for you. I looked at them suspiciously, understanding nothing. Until I went upstairs, Khalida hooked her arm around my neck, grinned. Expect this, Secretary Shen. You and Director Chun play so boldly. Quick, tell me how you won him over. I stared at her blankly, still pretending. I heard from Little Wu, who stayed for the meeting last night. You and Director Chin were openly flirting, and Director Qin's phone is full of your photos. Impossible. The photo I sent last night was seen by others. I want to go crazy. This is a super mega colossal level of embarrassment. Better find a hole to crawl into. Stay calm, it's all Adrian's fault. Yes, it's his fault. Who told him not to tell me he was in a meeting, and the phone wasn't his to use? When I entered his office, my mood had been adjusted. He looked up at me, somewhat puzzled in his heart. Why is my darling's face so red, like a little apple? So cute, want to pinch it. Her face is even redder, doesn't look well. Was she unhappy shopping yesterday? Should I transfer another 3 million? What excuse should I use? I really wanted to cry. Looks like he still doesn't know about that. Great. I breathed a sigh of relief. Adrian pretended to casually speak. There's a banquet tomorrow night, come with me. This card has 5 million, choose a nice dress. Don't embarrass me. His expression was cold, seeming only worried I'd embarrass him. If I couldn't hear his inner thoughts, I might have believed it. My eyes brightened as I took his card. Yes, Director. I guarantee to complete the mission. Absolutely won't embarrass you. Adrian glanced at me, a hint of smile flashing through his eyes, but then turned cold again, pretending to be indifferent. Don't overthink it. I'm only bringing you to make you face reality. After all, your ex-fiancé will also be there. I heard he's getting engaged soon. Oh, I was still immersed in the joy of having 5 million, answering perfunctorily. I agree. Please use more money to help me see reality clearly. But I heard disappointment in his inner voice, low, as expected. She still hasn't forgotten him. When will you finally turn around and look at me? Oh no, he misunderstood again. Adrian gave me half a day off. I spent the whole afternoon shopping crazily, buying clothes, jewelry, bags. When out of money, I sent him receipts for payment. Thinking about it, constantly spending his money isn't very good either. Speaking of which, I remembered I still haven't actually become his girlfriend. Haven't even seduced him, yet he's already automatically fallen for me. Thinking this, I suddenly felt a bit guilty. Fine, I'll buy one more pair of elephant print underwear. Oops, I mean a tie to give him. Then had the Chin family driver deliver it to him. He should like it, right? After all, I chose very carefully. At the banquet venue, I saw Adrian wearing that silver tie, surrounded by crowds, coldly dealing with them. From afar, he looked even more cold and distant. My eyes brightened. It really suits him. He looked up at me, cold eyes flashing with brilliance. Then he walked toward me, shielding me behind his back, blocking countless scrutinizing, examining, or envious gazes. Ah, my darling looks so beautiful in this outfit. Truly devastating beauty that makes fish sink and birds fall, flowers shy and moon ashamed. Anyone who sees will be mesmerized. No, that's not right. My darling looks beautiful in anything, never ugly. Ah, I regret bringing my darling here. Why is my darling so alluring? No looking. Mine, all mine. This was my first time knowing someone's inner thoughts could be so rich. Someone even complimented Adrian's nice tie. Adrian smiled faintly, glancing at me. Too kind. Secretary Shen chose it for me. Indeed not bad. I heard his inner voice screaming crazily. Aha, I have a wife who chooses ties for me. Do you have one? No. My wife specially bought a tie for me. If this isn't love, what is? I stood beside him, almost unable to hold back my laughter. Adrian probably doesn't know the cold CEO image he tried so hard to maintain in front of me had long ago completely collapsed. Adrian led me around, introducing me to various big bosses. Many of them I'd met before, but those present today were all elites in the business world. Seeing me, they had no special reaction, just smiled and greeted. Until I saw Lucas, my ex-fiancé. Sophie was holding his arm, wearing a white dress, clearly having put in effort to look gentle and weak. But right now, seeing me, her complexion wasn't very good. Lucas's complexion wasn't any better either, looking like he'd just swallowed flies. But with Adrian here, he couldn't act out. After all, in terms of status or age, Adrian was considered his senior. Actually, I was also a bit curious. Logically speaking, Sophie's family background wasn't qualified to attend this banquet. For the Liu family to accept her so quickly, looking at Lucas's uncomfortable expression, like being forced to drink poison, I immediately understood. He must have hidden it from his family and stubbornly brought Sophie here. Sophie's complexion almost couldn't hold, but she quickly regained her composure, extending her hand toward me, her tone clear as if nothing had happened. Didn't expect to meet Senior here. Sister is here too. Just wondering in what capacity Sister came. She smiled very innocently. I didn't extend my hand and neither did Adrian. He lazily raised his eyes. Seems the lesson from last time wasn't deep enough. Miss Sue still hasn't fixed her habit of meddling in others' business. If you don't mind, I can sue you one more time. Sue for what? I looked at him puzzled. He didn't look at me. How annoying. I secretly pinched the soft flesh at his waist. He grabbed my pinky finger, suddenly feeling hot all over. What's going on? Sophie was choked speechless. Lucas glared at me angrily, pulling Sophie away. I watched their retreating backs, curling my lips and raising my middle finger. Adrian's inner voice sounded somewhat aggrieved. My darling is still staring at that scum. Does she still have feelings for him? My expression immediately turned serious, looking straight into his eyes. Adrian, I don't like Lucas. Maybe I had feelings before, but now I really, truly don't like him anymore. Got it. He was slightly unnatural. You don't need to tell me. I don't care anyway. I gritted my teeth. Keep pretending. Keep pretending. You don't care. Then I don't care about you either. I angrily went to a corner, eating furiously to vent my frustration. After all, I came in a hurry and hadn't eaten anything yet. While Adrian was discussing business with others, I ignored my image and began battling the buffet table. Because I was too focused on eating, I didn't notice Sophie passing by. She suddenly tripped, her whole body falling to the floor. Coincidentally, she was holding a glass of red wine. The wine spilled all over her white dress, creating messy stains. Sister Emma. She stood up, biting her lip with tears in her eyes. Before I could say anything, Lucas rushed over and pushed me hard to the ground. It really hurt. My palm was scraped. Lucas supported the swaying Sophie, pointing at me and shouting angrily, Emma, I already looked down on you, yet you still hate me for breaking off our engagement, right? If you have issues, come at me. Why take it out on Sophie? You came to today's banquet just to see me, didn't you? You think clinging to the Kin family makes you superior. Let me tell you, I only love Sophie. A vicious woman like you doesn't deserve to be loved at all. People around began whispering and gossiping. Isn't this the eldest daughter of the bankrupt Shen family? I heard she has an arrogant, domineering personality. Looks like it's true. Making such a scene in public. I heard she's being kept by the Chun family's young master, who in the end, just relying on men. But this illegitimate son of the Liu family is really terrible, airing everything in public. Suddenly, I felt warmth on my hand. I turned to see Adrian. He bent down, gently holding my pinky finger, leaning close to my ear, his voice low and hoarse. Horma kitty, I'm giving you a chance to act spoiled and arrogant. Want it? I nodded, took a deep breath, then slapped Lucas hard across the face. This slap used all my strength. Even my hand turned red. I cleared my throat and spoke solemnly. Everyone, today I'd like to clarify some misunderstandings between Mr. Liu and myself. Previously, the Liu and Shen families had an engagement. The Shen family helped Lucas a lot, but when the Shen family went bankrupt, Mr. Liu immediately cut ties with my family. As for what just happened, Miss Su suddenly fell right in front of me. I hadn't even touched a hair on her head. Could it be that she normally doesn't fall, but automatically falls when passing by me? Everyone here was cunning. With just my hint, they immediately understood the issue. Their gazes toward Lucas and Sophie gradually showed contempt. After all, I was legitimate and had Adrian backing me. What was I afraid of? Too lazy to argue with them further, I held Adrian's hand and turned to leave. So annoying, let's go home. Perhaps too shocked. I didn't hear his inner thoughts the whole way. Not until we returned to the villa did I suddenly realize I was still holding his hand. Right then, his inner thoughts exploded. She's holding my hand. Holding my hand. Can't believe it. Happiness came too suddenly. When I get back to my room, I must kiss this hand 100 times. I pressed Adrian against the door, laughing softly. There's something even more shocking. Want to try? What? Does she know what I'm thinking? The next second, I stood on tiptoe and kissed his lips lightly. He touched his lips in a daze. What's this? A reward for the little dog. After saying that, I turned to run, but he held me tightly, placing me on the table. He lowered his head to touch my forehead, his usually cold eyes gone, replaced by intense desire. His voice was hoarse, not enough. His burning, heavy gaze looked at me. Can I? I wrapped my arms around his neck, softly humming agreement. A passionate kiss descended, consciousness gradually blurred. I heard him chuckle softly, whispering, Emma kitty, I told you, there's another place on my body that's also very hard. The next morning, I woke up in Adrian's arms. His hair was still slightly damp, deep eyes between his brows still holding echoes of our lovemaking. His soft hair rubbed lightly against my neck, causing an itchy sensation that made me unable to resist pushing his head away. Stop moving, too ticklish. He wouldn't give up, continuing to nuzzle my neck. I laughed. Adrian, are you a dog? He held my hand, solemnly placing a kiss on my palm, then, woof woof woof, I'm Emma Kitty's puppy. His eyes were wet and bright like a puppy's, filled with reflections of his kitten. Though everyone knows cats and dogs are natural enemies are meant to be together. The second day after officially dating, Adrian transparently reported all his assets, then declared, "Everything is yours, I'm also yours. My little brother down there is also yours." Wow, doesn't that mean I'm about to become rich? He seemed to remember something, uncertainty and anxiety flashing in his eyes. Wet, Emma Kitty, you're not with me just for money, are you? I suddenly wanted to tease him, so I nodded. That's right. He was somewhat disappointed, scratching his head, then determined, then I must earn even more money. Emma Kitty, I won't give you any chance to abandon me. His gaze was very serious, so think carefully, do you really want to accept me? I do. I leaned close to his ear, speaking softly, not for your money. Honestly, you performed quite well last night. His face turned red to his ears. I poked his flushed earlobe, looking like it might drip blood. Adrian, you're blushing so much. Dogs like you, once they recognize their master, are wholehearted with only their master. No matter what, they must stay with their master. My heart suddenly softened. I took a deep breath and slowly spoke. Adrian, I must be honest with you about something. I can hear your inner thoughts. His pupils contracted slightly, showing surprise in his eyes, but then he shook his head in disbelief. Impossible. Emma Kitty, don't joke with me. I suddenly felt worried. It's not a joke. Since I drugged you and brought you to the hotel, I suddenly could hear your inner thoughts. Then what am I thinking now? You're thinking you can't understand Emma Kitty's brain. The smile on his face froze. Damn, she really can hear it. Then all my dark thoughts from before. No, must think of something else immediately. Shut up right now, you stupid head. You've collapsed. Now I have no image left in front of you, right? No, I like puppy Adrian too. I hugged him, patting his fluffy hair. So soft, just like a real puppy. Adrian, even if you want to regret now, it's too late. He hugged me tightly in panic. Absolutely no regrets. Afterward, I exclaimed countless times, Adrian truly was a business genius. Under his guidance, my management abilities improved dramatically. I carefully calculated the debts to be repaid. With Adrian's help, I started over from scratch. I recruited excellent former employees from the Shen Corporation. As for my irresponsible father who fled abroad, I had already unilaterally cut ties with him. My new company took off like a kite in the wind. About 5 to 6 years later, I finally paid off all debts with my own hands. That same day, I accepted Adrian's marriage proposal. I never met Sophie again, only heard about her through others' gossip. Indeed, Adrian sued her once more. This time, the court ruled she violated his privacy and reputation rights, forcing her to publicly apologize and compensate over 100,000 yuan. Sophie had no choice but to bow her head and apologize before the media. Fortunately, she didn't bother me anymore. It seemed she had placed all her hopes on Lucas. But due to Lucas's embarrassing scene at the previous banquet, the Liu family's reputation was severely damaged. Combined with Adrian cutting cooperation, the Liu family immediately abandoned him, switching to support another illegitimate child. In the end, both Lucas and Sophie were kicked out of the Liu family. I heard Sophie unwillingly tried to drug and seduce the new heir. Who knew he wasn't fooled and instead took her to court? Her reputation was completely ruined. Even Lucas dumped her. I thought I'd have no more connection with them, until one day Lucas came to Adrian's company looking for me. His eyes were red, voice trembling. Emma, I regret it. I miss you. I raised an eyebrow. Oh, what does that have to do with me? I turned to leave. He shouted behind me. If that day when the Shen family went bankrupt, I hadn't left but chose to stay, would the ending be different? Of course not. Adrian put his arm around my shoulder, raising an eyebrow, then called security to escort him out. I didn't care about Lucas anymore. I only knew that night, Adrian conned me all night, continuously asking, "Do you like me? Do you like me?" Perhaps this was the consequence of letting Adrian know I could read his inner thoughts. Now he didn't bother hiding his desires at all. Want to kiss baby, miss her so much. So annoying, don't want to go on business trips, don't want to be away from Emma Kitty. Want baby to raise her legs higher. Baby's legs are so white if placed on my shoulders, enough. I shouted with a red face. He smiled innocently, immediately admitting fault. I was wrong, Emma Kitty. But why do I feel there's no sincerity in his voice? Whatever, I'll be magnanimous and not quibble with him. Until long after marriage, I suddenly discovered I couldn't hear Adrian's inner thoughts anymore. But it didn't matter, because I no longer needed to hear them. True love often emerges from unexpected places, even between supposed enemies. Emma and Adrian's journey teaches us that genuine affection transcends surface-level conflicts and material circumstances. When Emma's family faced bankruptcy, she discovered that real support came not from her fiancé who abandoned her, but from her childhood rival who secretly loved her. The story reminds us that authentic relationships are built on mutual respect, personal growth, and unconditional acceptance. Adrian's patient love and Emma's eventual reciprocation demonstrate that love requires vulnerability, honesty, and the courage to look beyond past prejudices. Sometimes, the person who challenges us most becomes our greatest supporter.